It is time to hand out some grades. So I'm going to be grading the Chicago Bears 2024 NFL draft class as it is effectively over. I believe the Bears have made all of their picks unless somehow they trade back in, but I don't expect that to happen. So what is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, my NFL, here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to hand out my grades for the Bears draft selection. So here we go. We'll start out with obviously the number one overall pick, Caleb Williams, who the Bears took round one, pick one. And how can you give this pick anything besides an A+? I mean, it was not a tough decision. And look, anytime you're doing draft grades, you really are going off of potential and projection because these guys haven't played an NFL snap yet, right? So this is just more for fun, obviously. But with Caleb Williams, generational prospect, every team in the NFL that needs a quarterback would have, taken a number one, and even some teams that have a quarterback would have taken him at number one. So to me, this is an A+. I mean, I don't know how else you can give this grade, pick any other grade. But if Caleb Williams turns out to be the franchise quarterback, turns out to be the guy that you think he is, turns out to be generational, I mean, this is an absolute home run. So A+, Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears, pick one, round one. All right, round one, pick 9, Romy Dunn, wide receiver out of Washington. This is another A+. In terms of value and where you got him, he lasted to number 9. Thank you, Atlanta Falcons, for taking Michael Penix Jr. And he fell in your lap, and this is a guy who could be your future wide receiver one of the most polished wide receivers in this draft class, one of the 3 best receivers in this draft class as well. So to me, Romy Dunn fits a need. You got good value for him, and he's everything you'd want in a prospect. A+, absolute home run at this pick for Ryan Poles. All right, let's move on to pick number 75. They take offensive lineman Kieran McDonagh. Apologize for mispronouncing his name. But they take the offensive lineman out of Yale, a local kid. And I like this pick a lot because it addresses a need, right, at the left tackle spot. Potentially, in a year or two, he could be pushing for Braxton Jones's job. I give this pick an A-. I think, again, addresses a need, high upside kid. I like what he brings to the table with kind of, his skill set. He's a big dude. Like, just the tape shows you that he could be potentially effective and, at worst, probably a swing tackle that you can use for depth purposes. So I like this pick for the Chicago Bears, A- for Kieran. All right, moving on to the next round, pick 122, punter Tory Taylor. I'm going to give this one a B+. Now, hear me out. It's a punter, all right? But he's the best one in the nation. He's the best punter in this draft class by far, and best punting prospect in over like a decade, I believe. The only reason I'm giving this a B+ is because maybe you reached a little bit. Maybe you could have gotten him a little later, but I can't have too many complaints here. Maybe I should change this one to an A- because when you have a good punter, man, it's a big advantage to you. But yeah, overall, this was, even though it's a punter, it was still a solid pick because, watch the tape. This kid is real. He was Iowa's offense last year. He's incredible. And then finally, pick 144, edge rusher Austin Booker. I'm going to give this one A+. Austin Booker was a guy that fell in this draft. You got amazing value for him. He fits a need, your biggest need that you have in pass rusher. Like, he checks all the boxes that you'd want. The kid is just explosive. He's got high energy, high motor, relentless at getting to the quarterback. Like, he is going to come in and potentially challenge for a starting spot. Not in year 1, but year 2 definitely. And at worst, he's a depth piece. So A+ for Ryan Poles for that pick. So overall, if you had to go ahead and put a bow on this draft class, I'm going to give this draft class for Ryan Poles an A+. An A+. And here's why. If everything goes right, you potentially have, check this out, your future quarterback one, franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams, your future wide receiver one, franchise receiver in Romy Dunn. You have a potential starter on the offensive line in Kieran McDonagh. All right. You have your starting punter and arguably maybe could be one day one of the best punters in football. And you have a starting edge rusher potentially in Austin Booker. So if everything goes right, and I know that's easier said than done, but the upside, the best case scenario, the ceiling, the potential is insane for this group. So to me, A+. Ryan Poles hit this one out of the park. So kudos to him, man. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your draft class. Give me your grade for this draft class for the Chicago Bears as always.